G'day, I'm James from Pacific Rentals Pro. In this video, we're setting up a lease the simplest way, manually, with no lease document attached. That's the right path when you've done a handshake deal, or your lease lives on paper. Uploading an already signed lease and generating and e-signing a new one each get their own video in this series. So let's set up the lease itself, tenant, terms, and late fees. From your properties list, open the property you're leasing. We're on the property detail page. Everything about a property lives here: payments, expenses, leases, and maintenance. Let's open the leases tab. Here's every lease for this property at a glance: tenant, rent, payment status this period, and when the term ends. Click Add Lease to create a new one. First, the tenant. Start typing and pick them from the list. You can add more than one tenant to the same lease. Now the term. We'll start September 1st, running 1 year. Leave the end date blank if it's month to month. Rent is $18.50 a month, due on the 1st. Set a late fee $90 here. Later, the app applies this automatically after your grace period, and it even warns you if your amount doesn't meet your state's rules. And the security deposit, 1 month's rent. For the lease document, you've got 3 choices: upload your own Word docs, convert to PDF, automatically generate a complete lease with AI, or attach one later. We'll cover those in the next videos. Save the lease. Done the lease is live in the list with its status, rent, and term. One more thing. Click the arrow on any lease to expand it. Here's the full picture of this lease. On the left, the lease terms, your start and end dates, the deposit you're holding, and the current balance due. Edit lease terms takes you back into any of these. Below that, your tenant's contact details at a glance and a one-click invite to the tenant portal where they can pay rent online and see their documents. And the lease document. This lease doesn't have one yet. In the next videos, I'll show you both paths: uploading a lease you've already signed and sending a blank lease out for e-signature built right into the app, no DocuSign subscription needed. On the right, the notification settings. Send rent reminders is the master switch. When it's on, your tenant automatically gets a friendly email before rent is due with a Pay Now button that takes them straight to their portal. Remind tenant before due controls how many days ahead that email goes out. 3 days by default. The late fee grace period is the window after the due date where no fee is charged. Once it passes, the late fee applies itself to the payment automatically, and it's included when the tenant pays online. Texas sets a legal flaw here too. Watch what happens if I try a 1-day grace period. Flagged. Texas requires at least 2 full days before a late fee can be charged. And notice the app seeded this lease with the Texas minimum automatically when we created it. Back to 2 days compliant. If rent still isn't in the day after it's due, both of you hear about it. The tenant gets an overdue email with a payment link, and you get one telling you who's late and by how much. And at 7 days overdue, you get an escalation email, a nudge that it might be time to reach out personally or review your options. Your tenant isn't copied on that one. Now watch this. So I try to set the late fee to $400. The app flags it immediately. Texas caps late fees at 12% of rent, $222 on this lease. And anything above the cap is legally unenforceable. Every state's rules are built in. So let's set it back to $90, well within the cap. The warning clears and the change saves automatically. One last step. Let's get Sarah connected. Click Invite to Portal. Done. She gets a welcome email with a one-time sign-in link. No password to set up. No account creation friction. That link takes her to the tenant portal, her own side of Pacific Rentals, separate from what you're looking at now. You're in the Landlord app where you manage properties, leases, and the money coming in. Sarah's portal shows just her rental. She can pay rent by bank transfer with no fee, set up autopay, see her lease documents and payment history, and submit maintenance requests with photos. And that's the whole setup. To recap, we created a lease tenant, term, rent, deposit, configured automated rent reminders, set a state-compliant late fee with a grace period, and invited our tenant to her portal so she can pay online. Start to finish, a few minutes. Next video, generating the lease document itself with AI. See you there.